This is legit one of the most unique reverbs I've played. Huge thanks to Lantern Manufacturing for sending me the Verbena. What we have here is a reverb that is mono in, stereo out. You can actually adjust that to be mono out as well. Labeled as a dramatic reverb, I would definitely have to agree with that. This is a super unique, very textured and kind of ethereal sounding reverb. This is definitely not your typical reverb, room, hall, plate, spring type of thing. This is definitely its own sound. Let's dive into the controls. First up, we have pre-delay, and this will set the delay time before the effect is heard. So all the way counterclockwise, and it's immediate, and then all the way clockwise, it goes up until about 3 seconds. Next up, we have diffuse, which will control the duration of the reverb. And this will take you anywhere from like short modulated, chorus flanger type stuff to slapback to big, thick, lush reverb. Dwell will control the amount of feedback for the reverb effect. More or less, you want to look at this as the size of the reverb. You can get this into some really beautiful self-oscillating feedback as well. Mix will be your balance of wet-dry, and it can be 100% dry or 100% wet. Then we have move, which will control the speed of the modulation. The depth of the modulation is set, but here you can adjust the rate of it. This is also linked to the LED on the pedal, so it will kind of fade in and fade out or blink in time with whatever you have the move control set at. Pitch will introduce a pitch shift into the reverb, and this can go either a full octave down or a full octave up and anywhere in between. We have a soft click relay bypass on the right, and if you open up the pedal, you can decide whether you want it to have tails or not. And then finally, we have a reverse foot switch. This will reverse the wet signal of the pedal. And if your pre-delay is all the way off, you won't hear anything reversed. Obviously, there needs to be something there to reverse. So as soon as you start turning the pre-delay up a little bit, you can use that reverse foot switch and get some really awesome sounds. All the sounds you hear today will be through my 2023 Lockhorn Instruments zipper, and this has Novak P13 pickups. And this is tuned to C sharp standard. Then we're running into my Universal Audio Apollo X6 interface, and then finally into the Soft-Tube JMP 2203 amp plugin. So as I said, this is a super unique reverb. It can do some somewhat traditional sounds. This first clip will reflect that. And here are my settings. First in the chain will be the Electro Foods Germ Warfare for a little bit of dirt going into the Verbena. So what we hear in this clip is, it's almost like a large room with a little bit of slapback. I have it reversed, so it creates this like very short swell and then into this room. It's an awesome sound. Like I said, very unique, very textured. It really feels like it backs off when I dig in, so it doesn't interfere, it doesn't get muddy or soupy. And then when I lighten up, it just blooms and opens up. It's awesome. Enjoy. And now we're going to have a much more obvious delayed signal. You can check out my settings here. So we're still starting with the Germ warfare, and that'll be going into the Verbena. At the end of the chain, we're going to have the EAE Halberd V2. I've done a full demo of this perfect pedal, and you can check it out up there. We have quite a bit more modulation here, so it gets really warbly. And when I have both drives on with the modulation up, it's like instant wall of sound, with a vibrato arm. It gets you there immediately. At the end, I'll turn the move control all the way down, and it'll be just my guitar and the Verbena, and you'll hear just how beautiful this reverb sounds. We have this really warm, chewy, delayed signal opening up into this kind of resonant, almost metallic reverb. It's awesome. And lastly, we're going to be going with what I think might be my favorite setting of the Verbena. You can pause for the knobs. We're going to be rocking the same signal chain, Germ Warfare, Verbena, Halberd V2. Here we get a tone on the brink of oscillation the entire time. So, I mean, it is oscillating. You're getting this constant feedback because of where we have the pitch set and the movement in it. It's like this kind of moving resonant filter that creates all of these harmonics to play against. This is one of the great things about pedals and different people's approaches, and just like the kind of random things that occur when you get to turn knobs. I wouldn't necessarily think off the top of my head, oh, I'm going to have a resonant reverb and harmonics and this swell and this modulation. That's why it's so cool to use pedals that are less traditional, because it really pushes you into new territory. And that will do it for the Lantern Manufacturing Verbena. I wasn't sure what to expect when I plugged this in, and I have to say I'm a big fan. There are a ton of traditional reverbs: spring, hall, room, plate, shimmer, that have become like, this is the sound of reverb. So it's super exciting when someone is like, well, here's a different sound for a reverb. Creativity is a weird thing, and it's just kind of like floating in the ether, and every once in a while you can kind of grab a piece of it. And when you have gear, be it pedals, guitars, amps, keyboards, bass, whatever, drums, that make that process easier and faster, that's the goal, that's the win. And the Verbena fits that category. If you dig it too, check out the links in the description below, along with everything else I'm using. I put all this music out on Bandcamp. You can check that out too. It's in the description. And thank you for everybody who's been listening and downloading off of there too. I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed already and you dig this content, consider hitting subscribe, like, share, comment, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on these new videos, which I put out every week, sometimes a couple times a week. And until next time, peace.